Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this will be a treat. This is Sweetwater Brewing. This is the Dank Tank series. This is Red Hot Mama, an Imperial Red Ale. Alcohol is 8.6% by volume and 82 IBUs. And hopefully I haven't kept this too long, guys. It's an 8.6%er, but it may be a little on the or intended to be a little more on the hop forward side. So, and I've had this one for a while. I can't remember if I bought this one in down in North Carolina at Total Wine when I was down there last year. Or someone sent it to me last year. Since the beginning of the year, I've been labeling everything that everybody sends me, so I know who sent it. And because I've had a lot of people in the recent months sending me a lot of different beers, so kind of hard for my old people asked to keep up with who sent me what. So I just finally had to start labeling it, who sent it. So when I do the reviews, I've got that written on the bottle so I can thank them. So if you sent me this beer and I can't remember, I apologize, but I may have bought this one down in North Carolina when I went down there. I can't get Sweetwater beers here in Virginia. They're available down in North Carolina, but they don't come into Virginia. So hopefully that'll change pretty soon because I really like most of the stuff that they do. They got it going on down there, and they're out of Atlanta, Georgia, I think. Let me confirm that. Yes, Atlanta, Georgia. So. Dank Tank, a series of rarely released randomness from the hombres of headiness. These occasional treats from the dark side of our soul emerge from Sweetwater's experimental one-hitter, the Dank Tank. Brewed only when the itch gets so bad we just have to scratch it. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Don't float the mainstream. That's their saying. Don't float the mainstream. But it's got an evil looking bitch on the front of this thing. And it's got a little story here, and it's the same as the commercial description. But I'm not going to read all that to you guys. We're just going to get into the beer here. I'll give you the IBUs and the ABVs and the whats and the where-tos and all that. Let's go to the food pairing. Cheeses, sharp blue cheddar, meats, beef, poultry, and fish. And the glassware is pint, Becker, Nonic tumbler mugs, Stein Side Ale, and oversized wine glass, tulip glass. I've got the double glass for this one. Since it's 8.6, almost a 9%er, I'm going to go ahead and use this instead of the pint glass. And it says not recommended for standing cellar unless ABV ascends average range. Well, it does, but it may have been hop forward. So we're going to find out if I've kept this one too long, guys. So that's all we need to talk about as far as I'm concerned. So let's get the cap off of this bad boy and see what we got. As of right now, there are a couple openers left. I mean, the last batch didn't last for one day before all of them left, and half of these were gone before I even got the box open. So there's a couple left. If you're looking for an opener, give me a shout and I'll let you know what colors are left, and we go from there, guys. Still got a bunch of shirts here, so anybody needs a shirt, t-shirt, just give me a shout and make sure I got that size for you. The larges are starting to get low. I don't believe I have any more larges. I'm not sure. I think I sent my last one out, so I still got all the rest of them. Different times, the 2Xs will go, I won't have any more of them, and then the larges will go, and then I think I had one batch where all the mediums went. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason, and I have to order like 24 of them at a time, so I try to order more of what I've been selling in the past, but that doesn't always work out. Alright guys, this is a really rich color. I mean, It is almost brown, it's so deep red. I can see the bulb through it, but just barely. And it is got a reddish brown hue to it. It's a deep red. Like I said, it's so deep I can hardly see the bulb through it. So, and with that pour, we didn't get much of a head, and it's just barely covered the glass now. So let's get a nose on it and see what we got. Well, as the name says, it smells pretty dank. I'm getting an earthy floral hop, a sweet malt, a hint of grapefruit and pine. Not a big grapefruit and pine. So we may have lost some of the hop freshness with me keeping this one as long as we have. It's got a definite sweetness to it. Maybe a hint of vanilla or something in there. Well, let's give it a taste and see what we got. Like I said, I may have kept this in a little longer than I should have, guys. So, cheers. Very nice, though. I'm not getting any alcohol whatsoever. At almost a 9%er. It's hidden pretty well. Big sweet maltiness here, but it's got enough bitterness with that much of IBUs, 80, 82. So it doesn't taste that bitter to me. Almost like it's got some vanilla or something in there. I'm getting a sweetness, but I'm getting some vanilla there too. Hint of grapefruit, hint of pine, kind of dank. I want to say it's not overly sweet. It's sweet, but there's enough hops to balance it out. It's very tasty. But like I said, I think I may have kept this one. I got a feeling this was a little more hop forward when it was fresh, guys. So, and I'm not exactly sure when this was produced. I don't think it has a date on it anywhere. We'll look again. I'll look again when I come back, but I don't think it's dated. I don't see anything on the label that tells me when it was done. They do these dank tanks whenever they feel like it. So there's no rhyme or reason when they produce them. So, but anyway, it's very tasty. Let's let it warm up just a little bit and get the other half tasted and get her some out of this bottle. This is a 22 ouncer, so we're going to share some of this one, and we'll come back and do the final chug and grade on this one, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left here. Rate Beer and Beer Advocate are calling this beer two different things. Rate Beer is calling this an American strong beer, strong ale, and Beer Advocate is calling it an American Amber / red ale. I don't think those styles are the same. I mean, a strong ale is going to be a lot different than a red ale. So, I think this beer is kind of tasty. I'm very disappointed that Sweetwater hadn't got a date on this bottle. I thought they were dating their stuff, but either this one is older than when they were dating it, or they're not dating it. Like I said, I can't get their beers here. So, Sweetwater, if you're not dating your beers, you probably won't see me buying any more of their beers. But I thought they were dating their stuff. So, when I make another trip down to North Carolina, if I see their beers, I'll check for the date. And if it's not got one, they'll sit on the shelf as far as I'm concerned. Even though they make some good beers, they're big enough that they can put a date on it. So that's how I feel about it, guys. That's just my opinion, but they are big enough to date their beers. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get on with this one. Big malt, roasted malty, toffee. It's got a dank floral hop presence. There's a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of pininess in there, but it's a real sweet not overly sweet, because the bitterness there is kind of balanced it out. But I got a feeling this beer would have been a lot hoppier fresh than it is now. So with that being said, final chug. Still not getting any of the alcohol now that it's warmed up. And this is a big beer, almost 9%. 8.60 here on Beer Advocate. And 8.6 there. And 8.6 there. So everybody's in agreement on the alcohol. A lot of times we'll get a discrepancy there, especially when the two sites are calling it different things. Strong ale, red ale, amber ale. So, but anyway, very tasty beer, guys. I would buy this again if it had a date on it. So it was that good. But not having a date on it will cost them a great point. I think this beer is probably an A- beer. I definitely think it's an A beer. But with the hoppiness probably have faded. It may have even been a 9 beer when it was fresh. But not knowing that, with no dating on it, not knowing how long I've had it or when it was put in the bottle, I'm gonna go down to the A- to say that's probably where it should be with this stage of the beer's life. But not having a date on it, it's not going to get that. So we're going to drop it down to the 7, which is a B+. I think it's a well-made beer. I just think that they're a big enough brewery that they can put a date on their bottle. So that's all. That's where I'm going to leave that one. Let's go see what everybody else thinks. We'll go over to Beer Advocate first, and they say 85, which is in their very good range. I agree. It is a very good beer. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 92 overall, but 66 in the style. So there's some conflicting numbers there between the style numbers and the overall grade. But I really don't. If I was putting a numeric rating on this right now, not knowing how old it is, not having a date on the bottle, I would probably give it between an 87 and an 89. That's where I would put it. So that's what I got to say about this one. If you've had the Sweetwater Dank, Tank, or Red Hot Mama, give me some comments back on this. And guys, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button. And let's see what's in the fridge tomorrow. I'll see you then.